Hey, it's Eater. How's it going? October just started, so it's time for all the spooky stuff, spooky movies. I'm starting to watch some horror movies. I always try to watch 31 new horror movies each October, so starting that. But let me tell you about some stuff I got in September. Last week I went to the weekly flea market in a nearby borough of Aspinwall, and I got these two light up pumpkins that appeared in a video I had recently about pumpkin spice. I'll have a link to that in the comments, or I'll have a link to that below. I also got these two movies on DVD, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which will definitely be part of my movies for this month, and Wayne's World, which I already had on VHS, but that one looked really bad. I got this really weird single by William S. Burroughs and Kurt Cobain. I had heard of this before, but I never actually saw it, so it's cool to actually get it. It's called The Priest, They Called Him. I have not listened to this yet, but it's so like weird and kind of spooky looking. My friend Weird Paul also put out this really cool 7-inch for his song Peanut Butter Recall. The B-side's a song called Turn My Brain Off. You might know Weird Paul from YouTube. I definitely say check out his videos. This was a cool 7-inch that he did. There were only a few made, so you actually can't get these anymore. They sold out extremely fast, but I'm sure he might do a repressing. What I wish he had done with this is I wish he had put it on peanut butter colored vinyl, like a peanut butter marble color. That would have been great. But anyway, yeah, you can check out the song on his channel, and I'll actually have a link down below in the description. Check it out. I also saw two pretty cool shows. I saw Cheetah Chrome and Guitar Wolf. Here's some of the stuff I got from those. Cheetah Chrome, if you don't know, was in a band called the Dead Boys in the 70s. They were a New York punk band. They were very kind of like sloppy, almost like Iggy Pop type of stuff. Guitar Wolf is a band from Japan. They're a garage rock, a noise rock type of band. They were part of a big scene of like garage rock sort of revival, but it was Japanese and very like noisy. I wrote about both of these shows on my blog, Skull Valley, which you can check out at skull-valley.info. And again, I'll have a link in the description. So it was cool to meet Cheetah. It was cool to meet the guys in Guitar Wolf. I also met Jake the Snake Roberts, famous wrestler. I got him to sign this bag I've had since I was a kid. It has the snake inside. I also got his DVD, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, and he signed this. This is about his struggles with drugs and alcohol. And I got this picture from him that he signed to me, Richard. We also took a picture together. Check it out. I met Jake the Snake at a toy store around here called D&E Collectibles. They're pretty great. They're located in Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh. And while I was there, I got some cool stuff. I got some more muscle figures, which I collect. I have over half of them right now. Got the rare hand, claw, whatever you want to call it. These are just some of the ones I got. There are over 200, and I'm maybe at about like 60% of them right now. I'm mostly going for complete flesh colored. I'll have a video of these up one day. Another thing I got was these two sealed Savage Mondo Blitzers toys. This was a really weird toy line that kind of was going off of both muscle and stuff like Garbage Pail Kids. You have really weird designs, like this baby with a cigar and a big gun, this guy with giant hands, this guy that's just a big head. They were really weird, and they even had one character that was a big gun, so these actually got in a lot of trouble, a lot of controversy. So they were discounted a lot. These are 2 for $5 apparently at some point. I got some as a kid. I got a whole lot of them because I remember seeing them in the clearance bin, and I just thought they were so cool. I always liked little figures. Finally, I got some complete in-box NES games from D&E. So I got Hogan's Alley, Konami's Track and Field 2, Ultima Exodus, Tengen's Unlicensed Pac-Man, and finally, which I love this box art, Q*bert. Speaking of video games, here's a bunch of the highlights for the video games I got this month. First off, I went to the Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Expo. That was 2 weeks ago. Here's some footage from that, and here's some of the stuff I got. I think overall it's pretty fun. I wish I won the raffle for the Sega Genesis though, but oh well. I also got some pretty expensive games on eBay, but I got these really cheaply, so it was cool. I got Persona 2, Eternal Punishment, and I also got Suikoden 2. Happy to get those. I had heard about them a little after they came out, but you know, I never was able to get them because they were so expensive. Speaking of games that I wanted to get but never did, here's some games I actually wanted to get when they came out but never did. First is Maximo, Ghost of Glory. I wanted this because Ghosts and Goblins was one of my favorite games as a kid. It was one of the first NES games I played. I always loved monsters and Halloween, so I always wanted to get this, but just never got around to it. Also the two of the Professor Layton games for DS, the first two. I played the demo, I think, for this first one at GameStop before it really blew up, and it was really fun. And then it blew up, and all the kids at school were talking about it in high school, and it just seemed like it was like too much for me to handle right then, and I wasn't really buying as many games, and I just didn't really have the time for it, have the money for it. But I'm glad to finally get those. It's a great series. Got the legendary Starfy, which is a weird game. I guess it's a pretty big series in Japan. My friend Kyle and I had seen this character in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I just thought he was such a funny, like, cute character that I remember looking it up and seeing that this game was coming out. And when it finally came out, I thought about getting it, but just kind of lost interest. I had kind of lost interest in the DS at that time. I think I just didn't have a lot of the cool games, but recently I've been buying a lot of DS games. Finally, for these, games I wanted to get but didn't when they came out, was Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. The first Castlevania game I actually ever played was Castlevania 64. I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually really like that game. I don't think it's too hard, and I don't think that it's bad. I mean, the camera angles are kind of weird. It's kind of weird to have skeletons on motorcycles, but it's also just kind of fun in a way. So that was the first Castlevania game I played. I really liked it. I never actually got it, and then I remember that this game came out. My friend Augustin rented it, but I never actually played it. I never got it. Wanted to. I knew they added a lot of stuff. They added this werewolf character. They added this guard character. Apparently they cleaned up some of the camera angles and stuff. So it's good to finally get this game. It's actually Castlevania's 30th anniversary just recently, so happy anniversary, Castlevania. I got new boxes for two games, Demon's Stone for PS2 and Suikoden. When I first got this game, actually, it didn't have any box or manual or anything. I got the manual from a friend, and then I found the game and box on eBay for pretty cheap. Probably going to be reselling that game. If I do, I'll have that link down in the description there if you want to check it out. I don't know. Here's a cool long box game for PS1. I didn't ever see these when I was a kid. My friend Shane had one, Battle Arena Toshinden, but somehow I never saw the art, like the box for it, and one day I just came across it in a drawer he had. And I remember asking him about it, and he just said, oh yeah, that's the box it came in. But I always thought these boxes were neat, and the games on them were kind of neat. They're reminiscent of the Sega Saturn, or the 3DO more, which is maybe good or bad, depending on what you think, but I kind of like those early 3D games because it seems like they didn't really know what they were doing, but they did it in a way where it seemed new, and it reminds me of that time when 3D was new and very exciting. I got a lot of light gun games for PS1 and PS2. I started thinking about the gun con a lot recently, so I got Time Crisis and Time Crisis Project Titan. I used to play these at my friend Augustin's house. I think he actually let me borrow Project Titan, maybe. I also got Time Crisis, Crisis Zone, and Vampire Knight. Vampire Knight I remember seeing when I was a kid at EB Games, but I just didn't get it for whatever reason. I thought about it a lot, and I'm glad to finally have it. The last game I got was Tobal Number 1. This is a 3D fighting game for PS1. It was one of the very first ones. It might have been the first one, but I'm not sure about that. The character designs and concept art were by Akira Toriyama. I'm sure you can tell. You know, he's famous for Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest. He's done a lot. I have a funny story about this. I went to a local store to get this, and they actually had it, which was cool, and it was way cheaper than the going rate. I actually got this for a really good price too, but not as good as their price. But when I looked at the game, it didn't have... Well, first off, it wasn't even in this case. I wasn't really familiar with the game that much, but it was in one of these cases, but it didn't have these black bars or whatever you want to call them. Like it's like a fake like spindle thing, or spindle. It's like a fake like binding, I guess. But it didn't have any of that. It was like they had taken the manual out and they had put it in the case, and then I think the back was just this art here behind this. Yeah, the back was just this art. So you just saw like this on the side, and I knew that that was wrong because all the PlayStation games were formatted to have that black binding on the edge. Also, the back didn't have any description of anything. It was actually, I'm pretty sure it was the cover. And I saw it said Final Fantasy VII Sampler CD included. So all I had to do still it must have been a two-disc game. And one disc isn't included. So I didn't get it. Everybody at the store was kind of confused. And I found it on eBay, and I'm glad to have it with the Final Fantasy VII demo, which I don't know how much that matters because I own Final Fantasy VII, but whatever. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, and if you like this one, be sure to like it. You can do all that stuff down below. If you want, you can leave a comment. Let me know some cool stuff you found at a flea market or a thrift store, or some interesting purchases you made online recently. I'll be sure to read those comments, and I'll try to respond if I have the time. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you next time, and you have a good one.